Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Los Artilleros. First off, apologies for the amount of time since the last episode. I think I released the last episode at the end of October, so it's been over a month now, so almost 2 months actually. Yeah, it's been a bit weird. Super busy with work, obviously, but also Arsenal games are just on an inconvenient time for me at the moment. I'm working most weekends, so yeah, not being able to have a chance to kind of make videos about Arsenal lately. I'm trying to rectify that, but an unexpected bonus is that when I do get a chance to make videos, obviously there's been a few games we could talk about a few games rather than just the one. So the videos are kind of a bit more filled out. So let's go straight into it. So I think the last video I made, last episode, we focused on the games up to the Aston Villa win, which obviously was massive for us. We were on a bit of a run at the time. That one actually continued. We actually won, I've got the list here, we won against Leicester and then Watford. Watford was a bit sketchy 1-0, but it was still good. Good home victory as well. Leicester away as well, which is good. 2-0, quite comfortable with that game. Then we kind of lost 4-0 to Liverpool, and it's, I mean, it's quite an up and down season where we keep getting bumps in the road, but most of the time, um, the season's good. Like the players are good. Um, Everything seems to be going in a positive direction. It's just every so often um, we come across this team that kind of blitzes us, and Liverpool was one of them. Um, Basically, I think I just took it as a reminder that we're still way off Liverpool, Man City, um, and yeah, we've still got a ways to go till we're at their level. So yeah, 4-0 loss, bit of a tough loss for that, especially considering I think at that point, I think we're on a 5 or 6 game unbeaten run, 7 I think if you include the Carabao Cup win. So we were in a bit of a run, so it was a bit of a disappointment, but then we bounced straight back and beat Newcastle 2-0 against a game that kind of just, we need to win against Newcastle. Newcastle are relegation favourites at the moment, so we need to win that game. And we did. We bounced back. That's all we could ask for, really. Because Newcastle was a bit of a potential banana snip in the sense that, when we lose a game against Liverpool quite heavily, and then, maybe a team that we come across a team that we should win, and, that ends up playing better than we thought, and then gets a point or 3 points off of us. But no, we actually won that comfortably 2-0. This is one of the disappointing things. This, for me, the next 2 games, probably the worst results for us the whole season. That's the 3-2 loss against United and the 2-1 loss against Everton. First of all, Everton, like I think we're their only win in the last 4 months or something stupid, 11 games or something. Um, yeah, they're on a terrible run of form. Of course, we would be the ones that give them 3 points, a desperately needed 3 points from Benitez, who's not having a good time at all over there. Um, very, very disappointed that we should have won that game. We needed to win that game. And the Man United, same thing. I have Man United and Everton in the same boat. Everton are obviously doing worse, but United at the time were an absolute shambles. They had no coach. They just sat there. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Carrick was in charge. They'd been on a massively disappointing run of form, which was awesome. So of course we go and gift them 3 points, and I think it was a gift. They didn't outplay us really. We just kind of made some sloppy mistakes, gifted them the win basically. Um, and I'm not trying to be biased with that either. Like, I think a draw in that game would have been quite fair. Um, Absolutely, they did not deserve to win that game, and it was disappointing. We should have won that game. We should have made a statement. Both of those games, we should have got 6 points out of those. It should have been a statement. We would have been clear. I think we'd be clear third now. So if we'd won those, so yeah, those were disappointing. But then we bounced back. Won 3-0 against Southampton, 2-0 against West Ham, 4-1 against Leeds. Massively great. I mean, one goal conceded. Yeah, one goal conceded in 3 games. Since that is disappointing 2 games I just mentioned. West Ham in particular, they were in top 4 for ages. They've been really, really good this season. They had a couple of injuries when we played them, but still had Antonio, still had Fabianski in goal, still had, their defence is a bit shaky now, but, I think Bonner and I think it's Zuma. They're both long-term injuries, so yeah, it wasn't the full strength of West Ham, but still, it was a decent enough team, and we beat them, so that was a good win. Leeds as well, a bit iffy. They were decimated by um, injuries. We have to say that, but their squad was older than our squad, so they still had relatively experienced players in their team. Rafinha, I think he scored their penalty, which is the only disappointing thing about that game. Should have been a clean sheet. Ben White a bit reckless again. He's only 20. I think he's 22, 23 now, so he's going to make mistakes for the next couple of years. But Ben White's the kind of player that will have 4 or 5 really good games and then make a mistake in one game. But it cost us a goal, it didn't cost us the win. So it is what it is. It's just Aaron Ramsdale doesn't get another clean sheet. It's just a pity because he's actually having an absolute blinder of a season so far. So yeah, that's the run of games that we've had since the last episode, and can't really complain. 3 losses, 2 of which I've completely embarrassed about. We should have won those 2 games. I'm still annoyed when I think about it. Liverpool won, kind of took that on the chin. You're like, really? Liverpool are at the top of the English game right now, along with Man City. I don't think there's anyone else quite at their level. Chelsea can be on their best days. They're not on their best days at the moment, but they can be. That's pretty much it. Spurs, no way. No way, no way. They're nowhere near the top 4, in my opinion. Harry Kane scored twice now. He scored the second goal yesterday of his season, like whoop-de-dee, 2 goals, wow. And even then, the referee absolutely had to help them do that, so Spurs are nowhere near top 4. Man United, unproven coach in the Premier League. Ronaldo's still a massive liability for them. It's weird because I think he adversely affects the team, which is why Ole got sacked, or one of the reasons why Ole got sacked. But then he's capable of winning them points by himself. So he's kind of negative and positive at the same time. It's very strange. Um, Sancho's decided to show up finally. I mean, I think he scored his first goal in December, so okay, whoop-de-dee. And they've got Europe to consider as well. Spurs don't because they just got knocked out of the Conference League. That's so hilarious. Spurs are literally allergic to winning trophies. It's unreal. Um, yeah, so I think we're in a good run. We're in 4th now. We're going to be in 4th over Christmas. We've got who we've got next. We've got Norwich next. Norwich and Wolves. Norwich on Boxing Day and Wolves 2 days later, or the day after. The day after that day. No, the day after the day after that day. Yeah. So we've got Norwich on New Year's Boxing Day, sorry, and then Wolves on the 28th, which is 2 days later, and then I think 2 days after that we've got Man City on New Year's Day, which is going to be a scary one. The Norwich one absolutely needs to be a must-win. It's away though. Away we've kind of been a bit iffy. We did beat Leicester away. We did beat Leeds away as well, so it's possible. Maybe we're on a bit of a upturn now. And Wolves at home. We all know what happened when we played Wolves at home last time. Luckily, David Luiz is not at the club anymore, so he can't get another chance to nearly kill Raul Jimenez. I don't think he did it on purpose. I'm just bantering, but I don't want to see a repeat of that whatsoever. Hopefully, Raul comes to the Emirates and for my fantasy team, hopefully he scores. But we absolutely need to win. We absolutely need to win these 2 games. Wolves are in a bit of an iffy run. They're kind of really hard to break down, but they're also not really firing on all cylinders up front either. I expect that one to be a draw, if I'm being brutally honest. But our youngsters are in form. I'll talk about them in a minute. So Norwich, I expect 3 points. Wolves, I do expect 3 points, but I'm open to the fact that Wolves are a difficult team. They're a bit hard to judge. Sometimes they're really good. They played really well against Chelsea like yesterday. Bit unlucky not to get the win, to be honest with you, but they're not quite lucky not to get the loss either. So Chelsea weren't that on it offensively either. They played Pulisic up the striker, and that alone tells you the dire straits they have at attacking right now due to COVID and injuries and stuff. So our attackers, I think, are more informed than they are. So we might trouble their defence more than Chelsea did, but we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully we get the win. We need the win. And then we go to New Year's Day against Man City, and I'm not looking forward to that. It's at home, and we're really, really good at home at the moment. I think we've won every game at home. I think one of the first three games of the season was at home, and obviously we lost that. But apart from that, I think we've won every single game at home. So, um, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. City as well. They've been on it the last couple of weeks, but before that they had a bit of a wobble. But they seem to be on it now, and that's going to be a massive test for us. If we can get any kind of points from that game, it would be brilliant. I would be happy with the draw from that, to be honest with you. Um, then we go into the FA Cup, and I won't go into the games after that. But yeah, those three games coming up are must. Well, two of them are must win. Man City was going to be tough, obviously. I just don't want to get smacked because we're in a position now where we make these good runs and then we get slapped by one of the two top teams in the league, and then we go on another good run, and then we lose to a stupid team like United or Everton, and then go on another good run. So it's going to be a topsy-turvy season so far. We don't have Europe, obviously, so we're focusing purely on the league and the domestic cups. We're still in the EFL Cup. We've got the quarterfinal against Sunderland. That's tomorrow, almost 24 hours from now. And then we're still in the FA Cup, obviously, as well, because that hasn't really started yet. So, yeah, pretty good at the moment. Top four, like I said, over Christmas. Hopefully, if we win Norwich and Wolves, at least we'll still be in top four come the new year. Even if we lose against Man City, we should still be top four, which is good. And if other results go our way, then that's good. Yeah, I'm really happy. And I'm going to the. I just want to end this video by talking about the youngsters. I mean, first of all, I want to mention the whole Aubameyang situation. I was gonna send a video out about my thoughts about that, but again, scheduling kind of was a bit of an issue, and then the moment kind of went. So I thought I'd just wait until I do another Los Artilleros episode and cover it there. So I'm covering it here. My thoughts, he's obviously done something wrong, and I'm fully confident that we don't know every single thing. Because what we do know, I don't think is enough, really, for him to get basically banned from the first 11, banned from the team. He's not played. He's not even been on the bench for the last couple of weeks. So something's happened. Whether it's one big thing, there's rumours that he went away. He was allowed to go away, and I think he came back later than was planned. But whether that meant he came back to the country later than planned and kind of messed around with COVID's quarantine, or whether it was he came back late for training than was planned. There's rumours that he went away to see his sick mum in France. So it's kind of like a weird sympathy thing going on there, because obviously if you're going away to see your sick mum, you might be late coming back. But from what I feel, what I've heard, it's more than just this one thing. It's several things, some things that we don't know about, all combined, and that's made Arteta. Some say Edu, or some even say um, um, the Conkeys. I don't think the Conkeys are involved at all in this situation. I think Arteta's gone, hey, this is enough now. Like, I have to put my foot down because, this is enough. For me, that's the fine. If he's done stuff that's warranting this, then fair enough. I mean, no player's bigger than the team. And his performances, if he'd been playing well, then we can at least say, well, we need him. He's been playing well, but he hasn't. He's not shown up this season, and he didn't show up most of the last season either. At least the last half of last season. Pretty much since he signed his contract, like I said loads of times, he's just not been around. And been a bit of a liberty, to be honest with you. He's just been a bit casual about it, and I think this is working him up. Apparently, he showed up to training a few hours earlier the other day, which is good. You want to see that. You want to see at least, because he's going to be at the club at least until January, so you want to see a bit of a reaction. You want to see him looking like he's gone, oh crap, I need to step up a bit. Even if it's only because he wants to move out and he wants to attract another club, which is fine. I think we need to let him go now, because it's absolutely opened the door for Gabriel Martinelli, who is a revelation. Like, Arsenal fans have known that he's been absolute quality for the last year and a bit now, so it's not really a surprise to us. It's just that he got injured. I think it was last season or the end of the season before that. and he was out for a long time. And then he came back and he was training and he was in the bench and stuff. And Arteta just was not playing him, and we all thought, oh, he's playing Willian instead. He's playing Aubameyang and Pepe, blah blah blah. We were moaning and moaning and moaning about it. Turns out that he needed the time to recuperate and get fully fit and make sure that the injury was completely behind him before he brings him in. And he's brought him in because maybe partially because Aubameyang's been dropped and he needed somebody to come in. It's interesting that Pepe hasn't been brought in. I think Pepe is the next person that's going to leave. I wouldn't be completely surprised if we see Pepe and Aubameyang leave in January, not even waiting to the summer. Um, I don't. Maybe Pepe might stay, but I think Aubameyang's still going to go. But Martinelli's been an absolute revelation the last 3 games. I think he scored like 6 goals or something stupid. He scored twice against Leeds. Really good goals as well. He scored against West Ham. Scored a whole bunch and assisted a couple as well. So that plus Smith Rowe, who's absolutely having a blinder. He's on the bench. He got injured. He got kind of a knock. He missed the game. I think it was the Southampton game. Well, he got injured in the Southampton game. He missed the game. It might have been the West Ham game. But he missed the game. And he's been on the bench ever since. And he's come off the bench and pretty much scored. I'm pretty sure he did that against Leeds, and I think he did that against West Ham as well. So he's still scoring, even though he's only getting like 30, 40 minutes, 20 minutes even. So he's still good. I think he's going to be starting against Norwich, either Norwich or Wolves. I think he'll start. But who do you drop? Odegaard's doing really well. He's pretty much the assist king at the club at the moment. Very Ozil-esque when he first showed up to the club, to be honest with you. And Saka's just Saka. Saka's one of the best players in the league, like hands down. Not even in the club, he's in the league. Hasn't scored much over the last 3 days, last 3 games, but he's been integral. Absolute blinder, and you can tell that because every time he gets the ball, there's 2 or 3 opposition players on him. And you don't do that unless you view him as an actual threat to your team and to your performance. So absolutely, probably our best player at the moment, Saka. But yeah, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Odegaard, all bossing it right now. Ramsdale was absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, he didn't get the clean sheet against Leeds, but he got the clean sheet against West Ham and Southampton, which is absolutely blinding. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant. I can't praise Ramsdale enough. He's one of my favourite players. And his passion as well. It's nice to see a goalkeeper moving around and not just standing around, you know. It's almost like a fan. It's almost like one of us just in goal. And then he sees his teammates score and he's celebrating. Like, opposition fans are slating him for it. It's weird. The hate that Ramsdale was getting from everyone else is just mind-boggling to me. Just shows how good he is. I mean, because only top players get hate like that. So kudos to him, and he's stepped up this season. What a revelation he's been. Ben White as well. He had a bit of a wobble against Leeds. He caused that penalty, rash foul, definitely a penalty. But this is arguably the only thing he's done wrong, essentially, since the first 2 games of the season. So, although maybe the Liverpool game as well and the United game as well, I don't know how he managed to see 3 goals against them lot, but because they're not that good. But anyway, yeah, so really good. The only thing for me, the only negative thing is the midfield. I don't really rate Xhaka and Partey as our midfield pivot. Absolutely need to bring someone else in, I think. I actually, which weirdly enough, but I actually see Partey leaving before Xhaka. I think both of them need to leave, to be honest with you, along with El Neni. Pretty much everyone else in play, every one of our midfielders needs to go, to be honest with you. Apart from Lukonga, obviously, who's still young, still learning. Had a bit of a nightmare against, I think it was Liverpool. But he's still learning. He's like 21, so 22 maybe. So, yeah. I mean, for me, I'd bring in Edson Alvarez from Ajax. He's a starter in Ajax now. He's just signed a new contract with them. They obviously want to keep him. I don't think they signed a contract with him. I don't think they've renewed his contract just to keep him. I think they've renewed it so they get more money out of him for him when he leaves. He's got a big move coming up relatively soon. I think you don't become one of the main players at Ajax at the age of, I think he's just turned 24. without earning it, without being especially good. I mean, Ajax is one of those teams. They're not a Betis or Sociedad or all these quote unquote lower teams. They're a top team and they're known for exporting their talents as well. So for me, Edson Alvarez walks into our midfield. He's the defensive midfield we need. Him alongside Xhaka or Partey, I think frees both of them up. Mainly Partey. I think Partey is a bit more of the attacking midfielder. Xhaka's very, very reserved. He used to have a long shot in him, but now he's very reserved. He's the one that will always pass backwards, sideways, pass backwards. At least Partey tries to attack forwards, and obviously has a shot, which he's terrible at, but he still at least tries to move it forward. Um, I think with Edson Alvarez there, he's the defensive barrier for the defense, and then he's very good at the ball as well. He's very good running around with the ball, dribbling with the ball. He's a really good passer. So I think him and Partey could do well. I don't expect us to go out and get Edson Alvarez, but I think he's the kind of player we need. A really young but proven defensive midfielder. I'd get an attacking midfielder in as well, but I don't see us doing that. Doing both of that in January. I think that'll mostly be done in the summer. Um, but anyway, guys, I mean, mostly it's really good. I mean, we're in a really good run. We're in top four. Um, Couple of poor losses, but we've lost I think 5 games now in the league. Um, Two of which I think were preventable. Um, but we're in a massive run of form. We're scoring now. We're in the positive goal difference now for the first time in ages. So I think this is the first time I've read the stats. This is the first time being in the top four at Christmas since 2016, 5 years ago. I mean, it tells you. I mean, people say because Arteta's been at Arsenal 2 years today, which is another reason why I wanted to get the video out today. And you know, people say, "Oh, he's had 2 years. He spent up to 50 million." Well, yeah, because he needed to. Anyone walking into that job when he did was going to have to spend a year or 2 years to sort out the Ozil issue, the Aubameyang stuff, Lacazette as well. I haven't mentioned Lacazette. I mean, he's been blinding. He hasn't scored too many goals. He missed a penalty as well, shocking. But he's very much like Raul Jimenez. He's very much built up into the attacking play. He's integral. He's got a few assists in the last 3 games or so. So he's been really good. He's stepped up when Aubameyang was dropped. Um, but yeah, I mean, I just think that we need a bit more. I think we need a younger striker. And we need a younger midfielder. And I think on the wings we're good. I think our back four is set. I just think it needs a couple of years now to kind of gel. That back four in 2020 was in 2023 going into 2024 I mean, if they keep the trajectory, that's going to be a world class back four. I mean, Tomiyasu as well. I mentioned him. What a signing! Nobody knew who Tomiyasu was when he joined. Everyone was like, not sure. Some people were taking the piss, but most of us were just like, I don't know. But we had that Bellerin issue. We sent him out on loan. Cedric's not really a good right back. Chambers is not really a good right back. We're like, Niles, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He doesn't really want to be a right back. I'm thinking, oh no. And he comes in and he's owned the spot. He's one of the best right backs in the league. Quality. And Tierney as well. He's a bit injury prone, but he's doing alright so far. It's weird with Tierney, because when we were doing really bad, he was our best player. He was our best player most of the year last year. Been a bit quiet this season because the rest of the team stepped up. So he's not. It's not as obvious how good he is now because everyone else has stepped up. He's still our starting left back for sure. I mean, Tavares, I think, will eventually step into that role, but not for a couple of years at least, in my opinion. Yeah, and our attacking, apart from Lacazette, our attackers are all 20 to 22. Like, they've got at least 6 years together before they're even 24. Like, before they're even like 27, 28. So, yeah, really good. And also, I think by the time it gets to the World Cup 2026, um, I think Aaron Ramsdale, Ben White, Smith Rowe, Saka, um, they're all going to be the core. They're going to be the core of the England team for sure. If the trajectory stays the same and they still rise up, 2 years time, 4 years time, 4.5 years time, yeah, they're going to be the core. It looks like they're going to be the core of the Arsenal team, the England team, and that's cool because that will get me invested in England again. Because I'm just not invested in this England squad right now. Um, Especially with Harry Kane. Harry Kane is atrocious. I'm not even going to talk about the monumental foul that he did yesterday that did not get red card for. You all know my opinions on that. But anyway, so yeah, it's all good at the moment. Obviously, we've got 3 vital games coming up, and it could change. I'm going to try and get some videos out. I might wait until New Year's. I'm working until I think I've got the 2nd off, so I might try and do another video then. So yeah, hope you like this video, guys. Sorry it's a bit long, but I had like 4 games to get through, and loads of off the field stuff to get through, and you know the youngsters and how good they are. Let me know in the comments what you think about Arsenal at the moment. Let me know who you think's good and who you think's bad. What do you think's going to happen to Aubameyang and Pepe? Who do you think we should bring in? Do you agree with me that it should be a defensive midfielder? For me, the midfield's the only issue right now. And maybe a striker. Get a really young striker in, keep Lacazette for another year, and then move the striker into the void when I think Lacazette will leave either in the summer or next year. So, but yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, and hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to the next time I see you guys. So, take it easy, have a good Christmas, have a good New Year's, and I'll see you in 2022. Adios.